April 3rd, 7:52 a.m. I'm home all alone again, as usual. The only thing keeping me comfort is Jerma. I love Jerma. I love everything about him. I love his personality. I love his style of humor. I love him. Every night I would dream about me and Jerma being best friends in real life. We'd go to coffee shops, and I would put the cup in the back of his hood. He'd never know. It'd be so cute. Sadly, that illusion eventually has to come to an end. Star! The disgusting swine. How dare he, able to lay his hands on the goddess Jerma's body. He doesn't deserve to be Jerma's friend. All he ever does is ruin his videos by trying to annoy him, hoping he'll get another entry in his Jerma's Mad series. It's disgusting. And it was there and then that I decided I'm gonna put an end to this madness. I did some researching online and happened to come across Star's address. I was so happy. Finally, I'd be able to put an end to this madness. But first I had to ask my mom for a ride to his house. As I pull up to his house, I notice one light that's on in the upstairs bedroom. I know it's him, just sitting there playing Team Fortress, probably poning noobs as I speak. I step out of the car, and my mother tells me to behave. "Remember, son, I want you to behave yourself," she said in her over-manly voice. I still don't get that. Maybe it has something to do with the, Oh, never mind. Back to the story. As I approached the house, I saw my mother pull out of the driveway. I saw that the door was open, as if he wanted someone to come in. I slowly made my way up the staircase of his house. As I slowly crept up the stairs, I pulled the knife that I had hidden in my hoodie pocket out. As I reached the last step, I could see into his room. He was completely distracted, playing Team Fortress. I slowly approached the doorway and entered his room. He was completely oblivious to the fact I was there. Could this day get any better? I slowly approached him and realized he was playing on Payload Upward. I like that map. I raised my knife and stared into the back of his head, thinking how I'm gonna do this. I've never killed anyone before. I could easily go for his neck, but no, that would be too quick. He has to suffer for what he's done to Jerma. I plunge my knife deep down into his shoulder. He screams in pain, but I cover his mouth with my hand. He struggles and tries to get out of my grasp, but it's futile. I'm so happy. I finally get the opportunity to end this madness. I start smiling, and tears flow down my face as he goes limp in my hands. It's over. I've done it. I've won. But my victory was short-lived when I heard someone prattling around downstairs. I don't know who it could be. I didn't know Star lived with someone. I start to panic. I do the only logical thing that I can think of. I take my knife and I swiftly remove Star's face. I use his conveniently placed stapler that was left on his desk and used it to attach his flesh onto mine. I finally finished putting in the last staple as I swiftly hid his body onto the bed. I notice a shadow coming up the stairs. It's hard to see through Star's eye holes, but I make out a distinct figure. It's Jerma. He was wearing a tight leather S&M styled vest. He was also wearing assless chaps. I noticed he had a whip with him. I knew what he was here for. Jerma points me in the direction of Star's closet and tells me to go put on something a bit more appropriate for the situation. I nod and make my way towards the closet. I open the door and turn on the light, and inside are rows upon rows of anime cosplay outfits. Some from animes I haven't even seen. I don't know which one to pick. I want to please Jerma. I hastily grab the Sailor Moon outfit and make my way into the bathroom to put it on. As I'm putting on the last bits of the outfit, I hear Jerma come in through the door. He grabs me by my hips and bends me over the sink. He leans over to me and whispers in my ear, "Have I ever told you the story of my own bones?" Jerma thrusts into my anus with the force of 1,000 dragons. He wasn't very big, so it didn't hurt that bad. I stood there and looked in the mirror as Jerma was going to Pound Town, and I see Star's face looking at me. He's still here. He's still in my mind. I'm not the one at the end of Jerma's rod. It's Star, looking at me in the mirror and mocking me. As Jerma climaxed, I found myself getting too excited. The feeling of him pouring his old bone story into me was too much to handle. I quickly ripped Star's face off of mine and turned around to face Jerma. He panics and immediately pulls out and dashes out of the bathroom. He reaches into Star's nightstand and pulls out a gun. He points it at me as I'm exiting the bathroom. I tell him, "Jerma, I'm so much better than Star. Just give me a chance, please. I can pleasure you in a way Star never could. I know exactly what you'd like. Please just give me another chance." Jerma unloaded 2 shots into my chest. I fell on the floor, shocked by what happened. Jerma walks up to me while I'm on the ground and pushes the barrel of the gun against my forehead. Why? Why don't you love me, Jerma? I'm much better than Star ever could be. He didn't say anything back. He just stared at me with those gorgeous eyes of his. As my life flashed before my eyes, I came to a conclusion. I have spent most of my life looking up to this man. He has had everything I've ever wanted in life, and I have had nothing I've ever wanted until today, and I will not let this happen. I will continue my life. I have much more to do. Jerma's already experienced it all. Only one of us is walking out of here. Might as well be me. I quickly reach under my skirt and pull some of Jerma's leftover semen out of my anus. I flick it into his eyes, temporarily blinding him, and I grab the gun. I don't hesitate to unload the entire clip into his torso. As I'm standing there, covered in Jerma and Star's blood, and my own, I realize what I've done. I killed the only thing that ever brought me happiness. But I've done it. I finally ended the madness. I approach Jerma's corpse and start to spoon with it. I hear police sirens out in the distance. Damn it! Someone must have alerted the authorities. But I don't care. I'm finally with Jerma. Everything's right in the world. Everything is perfect. Jerma's false love had almost made me forget about the 2 gaping holes in my chest. I realized I would bleed out by the time the authorities got there. Yes, that's perfect. Just perfect. And as I am writing this, I realized what it's like to kill another person, especially someone you hold dear to you. It felt great. No, it's not, Mom! Shut up and drink your pro juice!